First, I want to start this video off by acknowledging that there are some people that see these videos and they run and tell different people different things about it. But first of all, let me tell you that just bear with me because my head is spinning and it's hard for me to think straight right now because um, just because I'm taking this medication and stuff doesn't mean that I do not come under attack by this V2K technology. First of all, if you have any questions, you need to start searching up V2K technologies. You need to start searching up just so storylines, stuff like that. These are the things that I go through on a daily basis. Doesn't mean that I need to be in a hospital 24/7, 365 days of the year, because I go through these things all the time, every day. Not every day. I go through these things a lot. But especially whenever I go to post these things on YouTube, that's whenever I go through them a lot. Just like the last video I had to take down whenever I described whenever I went to the Bureau years ago, months ago, uh, that my eye was disconfigured and I had to have reconstructive surgery. Those are the things that these people are doing with this technology to stop this stuff from getting out. Those of you that have contacted me, I know you're going through the same thing. I hope that it's not as bad as I am, but I'm still going to put this out and y'all continue to put yours out because I do watch yours and it does help me a lot. Now, getting back to what I was saying, that um, they've done some stuff so horrendous to me. Things like what this V2K voice told me in my head was that it was called a psychological surgery. That's because at the time I thought that actually nothing was done to me, but hey, let me tell you what it did. The frequency, the V2K frequency. And those of you don't tell me that this is not possible because light rays from the sun go through you all the time, through your body. Radio and the waves of antenna signal, the radio signal that people catch from antennas on the radio, catch signal pass through your body all the time. So don't tell me it's not possible. Do your research before you start telling me it can't happen. That being said, this pressure went around the top of my head, around the back of my ear, down my neck. Did like this the whole way up, back up my neck. It told me in my head that it cut my sciatica nerve. Went to the hospital to see if my sciatica nerve was damaged. It was not. It wasn't until just here recently that I was able to feel in my neck, and I can feel where it punched holes in my neck. I've never had x-ray, MRI, on the top of my head. It hurts so bad right here in the back of my ear. I believe because this program has strategically and thought out all its step-by-step processes, unless it's playing some serious major mind game with me and telling me all this stuff. It made my head so dizzy several times I couldn't even walk. I did my research. Well, there are three ear canals in the back of your ear. They have stones in them. Every time you move your head up and down, side to side, it relays the signals to your brain that you're moving. I believe that those are being altered some kind of way, and the electromagnetic field is sending the signals, making me dizzy in my head like that. And maybe that can be done without damaging those ear canals. Those tubes. But I think that maybe those are damaged. But I can tell you this for a fact. I can feel the holes in my neck right here. So I know that those are there. Now, maybe they just did those there to play the psychological game with me to make me think that it did anything else in my head. But either way it goes, this is the type of stuff that this V2K technology is doing to people. Now, that being said, I know for a fact the electromagnetic field, because of the because of the force when electricity draws electricity, any type of electricity move to a smaller amount of electricity, the larger electricity pulls the small one to it. They're attracted to each other. That is electromagnetic field. That's why when you see lightning bolts in the sky, when one lightning bolt strikes, if there's another one by it, they'll join together. And that's because of electromagnetic field. You need to do your research before you start saying, I don't know what I'm talking about. That is how the lens in my eye, the artificial lens that was put there when I had reconstructive surgery, was pulled to the top of my eyeball, which caused me to have reconstructive surgery. So far, I've had 3 reconstructive surgeries, roughly in a $60,000 to $75,000 range. You figure all 3 of those up, that's 200,000. That 200,000 plus added every medical bill that I've ever gone to a ER for these V2K technology voices in my head. And when these V2K technology voices speak to me in my head, I thought I had schizophrenia. I went to the ER visit, made an ER visit, see how I'm talking in circles and I'm not making sense. You can tell that I am under attack right now, but it's okay. I deal with this every day. This is nothing new. There's no big need to trip out and run and worry and think that you can come save the day because you can't stop it either. So, every ER visit I've ever made, which is in the 30-40 range about this stuff, all that added up, I can't tell you how much money. Plus the 3 reconstructive surgeries, plus the one that I have to have in the near future. On top of that, we have all the hospital stays I've had, and that's right under 10, but psychiatric hospital visits that I've had, and those numbers go outrageous. All the medical attention plus the medication that I've had that Medicaid had to pay for, all of this money in healthcare that this V2K technology that the CIA have, and it's in the Science and Technology Department. From the research I've done, Mr. Dean Hoyt is the director of the Science and Technology Department, so don't tell me I don't know what I'm talking about. And on top of that, the money in healthcare it has spent is outrageous that it has cost the federal government of the United States in medication, doctors, surgeries. It is just, it's flabbergasting to think about how can this program continue to operate. Those of you that think that, oh, it's just schizophrenia, keep believing it's schizophrenia. People more sophisticated than you, such as Jesse Ventura, Governor Jesse Ventura, governor of Minnesota, is aware that this technology exists and is aware that this technology exists through satellites and has made statements on television. TRU television channel station TRU has had a documentation of how the Central Intelligence Agency Science and Technology Department has this damn program and is operating. It used to be called MK Ultra, 1952 to 1960 something. Anyway, that on all the money that they spent, I can't believe this is still operating. And on top of that, that was something else I wanted to say. Just like my finger, whenever it burns so bad for 5 to 6 days and I squeeze all that pus out of it, that was electromagnetic field. It does these things to me. It, I feel it is torture. It tortures me and mutilation. It mutilates my body like my eye, like my finger. I used to have the skin. It somehow or another, it can heat up the skin and it's able to be wiped off. It can be wiped off almost as though you burned yourself, but it doesn't make a blister. Those of you that have problems with what I'm posting, the reason why I'm posting it is because if something does happen in the future, because I'm going to clear this up, the video I took down of how this V2K technology told me so many times in the past to retaliate against the government. There's only two ways that this stuff gets out of your body. Number one, Britney Spears had it. It made her shave her head. She got this technology out of her life because she had national media attention and said that the government did it. You know how she knew the government did it? Because they told her. They tell me all the time. Number two is if you do like Alex Alexis did. He retaliated against the federal government, took 4 Marine lives, and then took his own life. I'm not about to do that. I do not want to do that, and I'm not going to retaliate against the federal government. But if something ever happens and this computer technology pushes me over the edge, I want a video documentation why things happened the way it did, what I went through, and the experiences I had, so they know exactly what did it.